Hey, this is Simeon here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me here today. So, I have a new witness account for you of a Bigfoot encounter. You haven't heard this one before. Since publishing Dark Matter Monsters, I've been doing interviews and people have been contacting me to share their stories, which I really enjoy. This is a story from a witness, happened 50 years ago. She said she never really talked about it very much to anyone. She wasn't sure who would believe her. It's from a Smithsonian archaeological dig at China Lake Naval Weapons Station in the 70s. I think you'll enjoy this encounter. It actually involves physical contact with the creature. I find this witness to be very credible, and I think you'll enjoy it. So take a listen, and we'll talk to you soon.
It was one of the scarier nights of my life. I didn't know what was going on, but and I had read the Alice Bailey books, and she went into how to get out of your body, and I did, and went to a person and saw what they were doing and told them about it, and they thought I was basically a witch. But,
I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've done that a couple of times, so there's been a lot of strange things. But this one was over the top strange.
Yeah. This is an encounter that happened in California?
Yes.
And 50 years ago? That's a while. It's quite a while back.
50 years ago.
Yeah, that's way.
Yeah, I was
70 or so.
23 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 74. And I was about 23, I think, at that time. And I went with 3 friends. Oh, are you recording this?
Yeah, I got it. I'm getting it. Yep.
Okay. And my name is Barbara for the recording. And they asked if I wanted to go on a archeological dig. And I said, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. So it was 3 guys and me, and that's why I feel that the Bigfoot was more interested in me, and I'll explain that a little bit more. But so we went up to, and I've never told anybody this before, China Lake.
China Lake.
And it's, I guess, a military facility. And you cannot get on it. So he had permission to camp overnight. And we did, from the Smithsonian.
So you had special permission through the Smithsonian to camp on the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't go on that base or you can't go on any of the grounds. Now you can. I don't know what it was like before, but I know you can go in groups. They have guided tours that go and look at the hieroglyphics. Yeah. So anyway, we got there. We, set up our tents, and we dug up arrowheads, and which was great. I'd never done that before, and I took photos of all of the hieroglyphics, and the 2 guys, not 2 guys, but the 3 guys, and in front of the rocks and boulders as well. So I had a camera with me, and I'll explain why that was important after I've seen this thing. So anyway, it got to be dark, and I went in to one tent with my friend Kyle. I wasn't romantically, interested in him, but the other 2 guys were in the other tent. And all of a sudden, I feel something rubbing on my face. And I said, Kyle, what are you doing? He said, I'm not doing anything. And I said, well, then your hands. He goes, my hands are right here. And he pulled them out, in front. And this thing was still rubbing on my face. And so he yelled to the other guys. They got out of their tent, and we jumped out of our tent. And we just, all 4 of us stood there and looked at this thing, which was like maybe 12 feet or 15 feet or whatever it was away. And none of us talked. None of us could move. And all I really remember are the big yellow eyes staring at me. And it seemed like forever, but it couldn't have been more than a minute or so, which is quite a long time. But the fact that it was, scraping my face in the tent was showing some sort of interest. I was younger, female, the others were male, and I just felt that it was probably an adolescent Bigfoot. But, we all got in one tent after, the thing just turned or just disappeared. And it was gone. And I never told anybody, like I said, where it was located, because I didn't want anybody hurting it. It didn't hurt me.
Right.
And I didn't want anybody out there searching, not that they could get on that location. But you don't know who would. So it was just 50 years of silence.
Yeah.
Not wanting an entity or whatever it was hurt. It was just an encounter that, shouldn't surprise me too much because of all of the different encounters I have had, whether it's through ghosts or spirits that, the dark spirits being in my room. That was back in Hingham, Massachusetts. But anyway, getting back to the Bigfoot, we just sat there. And then hardly ever talking. I mean, it was just like, what was that? Well, the morning, we didn't want to leave because we didn't have just a road we could just quickly get out on. So when it first crack of dawn, we got up. And what I noticed was, because it was like March, and there was some snow on the ground. And for some reason, I didn't take pictures. There were prints. They were like 13, 15 inches or somewhere around there. And I just don't know why I didn't take the pictures. That they were just proof that, it was there. And I, years later, was listening to an Indian. It was a documentary about Bigfoot. And he said, they can change your mind to not see things or capture them. And I said, well, that's probably what they did with me, was just not taking a picture, because that was one of the things I loved to do, was photography.
Right.
So that was strange. I always wondered about that until an Indian had mentioned that. So it was like, okay, now I know why I didn't take pictures of it. Pictures of all the rocks, the boulders, everything else. But
how far apart were the feet in the prints, the distance between in the stride?
Oh, he was probably, or it, I'd say a he. I think it was probably no more than 15 feet away from us. Just staring at us.
And how tall?
I'd say probably around 9 or maybe 10 feet. I don't know.
9 or 10 feet. Oh, huge.
Yeah, oh yeah. It was because I noticed that we were on flat ground.
Yeah.
It was a flat area, and I was looking up at it. At its eyes. I get nervous just talking about it.
Were they glowing or just reflecting light?
No, there was really no light that night. There was no moon out.
There was no moon out.
But his eyes were glowing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I find that hard to believe in a way, because it's, should be glowing through moonlight, but I'll just never forget the eyes.
Yellow.
The rest of it, yellow. Yeah.
They were emitting yellow light.
Yes.
Because people say this all the time, Barbara. This is very common. And
Oh, I've heard red light.
Yeah.
I've heard yellow, but no, this was definitely yellow. What did they say about it?
It's like Christmas tree lights.
Yeah.
It's every color, and sometimes it changes. And well, I mean, this is sort of one of the reasons I wrote a book, because I thought, oh, this is not your ordinary mammal. Its eyes glow. Yeah, people say the eyes glow, and even on dark nights like you're talking about, it's often a red glow, but there's other colors. And
yeah, I remember this as a bright yellow, like the color of a crayon when you're 5 years old. You get that yellow out, but like you said, like a Christmas tree, bright light color. But other than that, I don't remember too much more. I don't even remember the conversation going back home. I know we talked about it, I'm sure. But
when it was touching you through the tent, it's through the fabric of the tent?
Yes. No, it didn't go through the fabric, but it was on the other side, and my face was right up against, because it was just a two-person tent.
Oh, your face is up against the side of the tent. So it's on the side, not the head?
Yes, it was on the side of the tent.
Yeah.
And my face was right there, and I kept feeling something rubbing my face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I asked him, I said, what are you doing? So, nothing. And I didn't hear anything like walking up to the tent. I did, after we yelled, I heard some like little pebbles or sand or something like that, of somebody that could have been outside, but nothing coming up. And, but that's basically, he was probably at that point just shifting and moving 15 feet away.
And he reaches all the way down to where your face is on the ground.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It just was mind-boggling to me, and I was thinking, if that's somebody outside, they could just jump on the tent, and I could, you could just be stuck in there. So I got out as quickly as possible. That's
the shoulder width. Was it slender or big?
No, it seemed and appeared big.
Big.
Yeah, I couldn't see the exact outline of it because it was dark, and it was dark, but I just remember the eyes were wide apart, further than a normal human.
Further than a human, yeah.
And that's where I didn't know what it was going to do, whether it was going to pounce on us or it was just staring it in the eyes. And
was it just looking at you in the group?
Yeah, it was.
It was just looking at you. Mm-hmm.
Just as far as I was concerned, it was looking at me.
Yeah. Is that what the other guy said, or did they feel that it was looking at them too?
I don't remember that.
You know, it's a long time ago.
50 years, I'm surprised I can remember as much as I did. But, when you have those types of experiences, that's a hard one to forget. And 50 years ago, I didn't tell too many people because they thought I was crazy, Yeah, it's understandable. Not many people knew about this 50 years ago. I mean, the Patterson-Gimlin film is from 1967, Oh, okay. This was probably like 72-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that time. So.
It was too dark to see the hair color or anything?
No, I couldn't see the fur color. If I did, I don't remember it. It's like a blank. It was like black on black with yellow.
Black on black, so it's dark.
Oh, it was very dark. Yeah.
Did you?
And none of them took out a flashlight.
Yeah, nobody took out a flash.
No one even. It was just such a loud yell, and the other guys got out of their tent, and we were just basically standing there in the dark together. But, you know.
Did you hear it yell, or were you yelling?
No, Kyle started yelling at the guys.
Kyle started again, and it was only 12 feet. That's so close. I mean, that's just like not very far away.
No, 12 to
and
15.
It's towering over you at 9 or 10 feet.
I'd say it was probably like 9.
9 feet. That's really tall.
It was really hard to see how tall it is.
Yeah.
I'm not real good at guessing heights and lengths and all of that, but just the fact that it had the yellow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
My main, and then it just either turned or just it vanished. And
either turned or vanished. You couldn't tell.
I don't remember at this point whether it was just like boom, it was gone, or it turned, and it probably turned, but it was gone. It was not there, and you could feel that it was gone. There wasn't that same energy.
You could feel it was gone.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Did you hear it walk away?
Nope.
No sound.
No sound. No sound that I recall.
But you saw the footprints the next morning.
I saw the footprints, and we were all looking at them, and we went, wow. And yet no one took a picture.